Hey there, my name is Angela. Welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Canon EF-M 15-45mm lens, aka the kit lens for the Canon M50 and Canon M50 Mark II. I have done a number of lens reviews on this channel, and although I've used the kit lens to compare with other lenses, I've never made a video just about the kit lens, but I've received a surprising amount of messages asking questions on whether or not the kit lens is any good or if it's worth getting. So I thought I would make this video to answer some of those questions. So first things first, let's talk about price. For this video, pricing is kind of unique when it comes to the kit lens because it is the kit lens and usually the Canon M50 comes with it. So I'm gonna do pricing a little bit different this time. Brand new, a Canon M50 with the body and the kit lens is $649. However, without the kit lens, so body only, it is $579. So doing the math there, $649 minus $579, you would be paying an extra $70 to get this lens. Keep that in mind, $70 brand new. Now let's talk about the M2, so the Canon M50 Mark II. With the body and kit lens, it is priced at $699. However, I also found it on Walmart.com for $679 at the time of recording this video. So that is with the kit lens, but without the kit lens, the Mark II is priced at $599. So let's say if you're getting a Canon M50 Mark II, the kit lens would be an additional $80 to $100 to get. So what is the kit lens priced at by itself? Brand new, it is priced at $299. So this is on Canon.com and other various third-party websites. Brand new, it's $299 compared to $70 or $80 to $100. But renewed, this thing costs $127.95 on Amazon. And that's what it's priced at right now, renewed. The price is always changing in Amazon's renewed program, so maybe you might get lucky and find it for even cheaper, or maybe you're not so lucky and it's a little bit more expensive. Either way, you would still be paying more for it renewed than you would be if you bought it brand new on a Canon M50 or a Canon M50 Mark II. When it comes to design, I have found that all of Canon's EF-M lenses are super compact and sleek, and this one is no exception. It is very small, and even more so because they have a retraction mechanism on it. You can see a little switch on the side that allows you to retract the lens down to 1.76 inches, which is super ideal for travel or putting in a compact small camera bag. Another cool feature of this lens is the quiet stepping motor. So what this means is it has a quiet motor function. So when it's focusing in and out and you're videoing something, capturing, I don't know what word I want to use, but you know what I mean. When you're doing that, you don't want to hear your lens trying to focus, and this lens has a quiet motor, so you don't have to worry about that. Now let's move on to focal length and aperture. So this kit lens has a focal length of 15 to 45 millimeters. Here is some example footage I took to demonstrate the difference between the 15 and 45 millimeters, so that way you can see just how big of a range that is. So what I did here was set myself up 15 feet away from my camera, and here is some footage of me at 15 millimeters. And here is some footage of me at 45 millimeters. Just so you have an idea of the range of that, as you can see, 15 millimeters compared to 45 is much wider, and this kit lens does have a decent range. When it comes to aperture, this lens has a range of 3.5 to 6.3. Because it is a zoom lens, its aperture also has a range. So at 15 millimeters, its aperture can drop down to 3.5, but at 45 millimeters, it can only drop to 6.3. So that makes it not really the best when it comes to low light situations, and also when it comes to getting a blurry background in portraits. However, you can still take decent pictures with this lens, and I wanted to demonstrate that to you. So here are some photos I went out and took of myself to kind of give you an idea of what this lens is capable of. And while I'm showing you photos, I would like to show you some landscape photos that I've gotten with this lens. When I first got my camera, it was the only lens I had, so I took a bunch of landscapes with it. But honestly, since I've gotten more lenses, I've kind of veered away from taking photos with the kit lens. Gotta be honest with you. So some of these pictures that I'm showing you are years old now, and I was still getting used to photography, or I was still very new at photography, so they're not the best pictures, but I think it shows you what this lens is capable of getting with a beginner photographer. Now I'd like to talk to you about this lens in regards to videography and vlogging. So I have this footage that I took months ago at Kings Canyon National Park with this lens for this video, because I knew eventually I would make a kit lens video, and I just wanted to insert it so you can see what handheld B-roll looks like when shot with this lens in broad daylight. So it does okay because of that image stabilization, but when the image stabilization really kicks in is when you're holding up the Canon M50 to your face and straight up vlogging style, and I'll insert some example footage of that right here so you can see me walking and see the image stabilization kicking in on this lens, and to see how good the image stabilization is. Another feature of this lens that makes it ideal for arm length vlogging is its 15 millimeter focal length. That's a pretty wide shot that allows you to get a lot of information in frame. So if the kit lens is so good for vlogging, why am I not using it to record this video? Well, to be honest, in sit down videos like this, and honestly most of my vlogging style videos, I like to use the EFM 22 millimeter lens, and that's mostly because of that 2.0 aperture. It allows me to get a more blurry background, and also allows me to shoot in a situation like this where the light is lower but still get a very clean shot. But to show you an example of how much wider this lens is than the 22 millimeter lens, and how much different that aperture is compared to a 2.0 aperture that I have on this lens that I'm recording this video with right now, I'm just gonna throw this lens onto the camera. Okay, so this is the kit lens on my camera now, set at 15 millimeters. The aperture is at 3.5, which is the lowest it can possibly go with this lens, and the ISO is at 320, which is what it was at when the 22 millimeter lens was on. You can tell that it's a bit darker now, so I'm gonna go and adjust those settings right now just so it's a bit brighter. I just wanted you to kind of get an idea of how much of a difference 2.0 and 3.5 are aperture wise. So hold on. Now the ISO is set at 800. I'm sure you can tell that it is a bit brighter now. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about using this lens in this kind of situation, because on one hand, I freaking love the frame. I worked so hard to put up those shelves, and I love that you can see every single one of them using that 15 millimeter focal length. However, once I review this footage, I feel that I'm probably going to miss the blurry background that the 22mm provides with its 2.0 aperture. Right now, this lens is as low as it can go at 3.5 still, but with all that being said, I am very curious as to which one you prefer, the 22mm or the kit lens, so please let me know in the comments down below. And I would like to wrap up this video with a few honest words, and that is that I am not entirely sure if the kit lens is worth getting if you have only bought the body of a Canon M50 or the body of a Canon M50 Mark II, especially if you are buying it at its full new price, $299. However, I think that if you got it in a bundle with the Canon M50 for only $70 or $100, then it's worth having to add some variety in the lenses that you have available to use. But that's just my honest opinion there. I hope that this video overall gave you the information you need to make the decision for yourself. If it did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, especially if you've seen other lens reviews of mine but haven't hit that subscribe button. According to my analytics, about 95% of my views are from people who aren't subscribed. So if this isn't the first time you've seen me, what you waiting for? I'll give you a second to just click it. And until next time, bye.